But the reality is that the entire test is just a test of reading comprehension, right? You absolutely need to read the passage first, not the question. Because your number one goal is to read and comprehend what that passage is saying. Those passages fall into two categories. They're either arguments, in other words, they have evidence and a conclusion, or they are just a set of facts. Okay? Now, if it's an argument, your next job is to figure out what's wrong with that argument. That's what you're essentially training to become, right? A lawyer. And as a lawyer, you have to hear arguments all the time, and you have to poke holes in them. You have to say, wait a sec, even if these facts are true, that does not necessarily lead to your conclusion because of X, Y, or Z, right? The best way to get good at logical reasoning and at the test is to read and understand what the argument is saying, and then try to figure out why the evidence that the author gave you is not enough or sufficient to prove the conclusion that that author drew. And people really struggle with that if they don't get their minds totally wrapped around the argument. So if for any reason you're being lazy, plowing through the argument as opposed to really trying to understand it and really get what that person is trying to say, then you're going to struggle poking holes in it. Step 1, read and understand. Step 2, if it's an argument, figure out what's wrong with it. Sometimes it's valid, but that's really, really rare. Okay? And then step 3 is to then take whatever you thought is wrong with it and then go and read the question and then read the answers. And after you read the question, you might need to make a short prediction about what you think the correct answer might be. Most questions lend themselves to a short prediction, some don't. And then you go into the answer choices and you eliminate the ones that are definitely wrong and whatever's left.